Hello, it's Liz here with Stampin' on the Rock. Welcome to the very first edition of Lunchtime with Liz. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to share a video with you beginning to end of making a card or maybe another kind of creation, but something paper crafting at 12:30. So 12:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can join me right here, and I'm going to just create with you and hopefully share some tips with you and help you with some creative juices. So let's get started. This will be the card for today. A little paper piecing going on here. Okay, so this is the card. I had a suggestion from a few people actually to show the project first before I start creating it. So this is what we'll be creating today. Okay, so the paper that I'm using in here is called Simply Elegant, and that is in the annual catalog. So Simply Elegant are these papers in here. So what I'm going to do, the supplies that I need is I need a basic card base, and this color here is basic gray. Okay, so it's just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock cut in half, and then I scored the center of it. So this is my card base, and that is basic gray. Then I grabbed a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and the measurements for that are 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4, and I took the stitched dies, the rectangle dies, and I laid this die on top of this, and I ran it through the cut and emboss machine and cut out the center. Okay, so it's up a little higher. I'll give you more information about that in a minute. Okay, and then like I said, I used the Simply Elegant Designer Series paper, but you could use for this part here, but you could use any papers that you have. And then I grabbed some gray ribbon, and the stamp set that I'll be using is called Heartfelt Wishes, and this is in the holiday catalog. And then I have what I always have nearby are dimensionals, little pop dots here, and these are little glue dots. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, I started out with the gray card base. I'm just going to set that aside for the moment. And then this piece here is vanilla, very vanilla cardstock. I used the stitch dies and put that right here. And if you notice, I'm up just a little bit of ways to leave space down here for the stamping. Okay, so I just put that and rolled that right through the cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to get rid of this. I can use it for something else later, but I'm going to get rid of that for the moment. And then what I want to do first is I want to stamp my sentiment first. I always do that first because I don't want to go ahead and put all these strips on here and then stamp this, and then I like totally flub the stamping and I caught some edges or it's totally crooked or something, and then I'm like, oh no, I already did all this. So let's stamp first, because if we don't like it, there's ways to correct that. Okay, so what I'm using is out of this stamp set here, Heartfelt Wishes, I'm going to be using Sending Love. You're using basic gray ink. When you go to stamp, a lot of the ink pads are super juicy, so don't press so hard into them. You just really need to kind of just tap up and down. And then I'm going to go straight down without rocking, and straight back up. Okay, you don't want to rock. When you put it down and you rock back and forth, you catch the edges, and you just don't want that. Okay, so I'll set that aside, and that's the only part of the stamping. That's it of the stamping for today. So I'm going to put that aside, and then what I'm going to do now is start building this part here. So what I did is I took that Simply Elegant DSP and I cut strips. I grabbed all different pieces from that pack, and I cut strips that are 1/2 inch by 4 inches. Okay, look at all those pretty papers. They're beautiful. 1/2 inch by 4 inches. I'm going to take this piece here and we're going to flip it over on the back. And I just put some adhesive around the edges. Choose your adhesive of choice. This is the liquid glue. And I'm just very lightly, you don't need a ton of it. If you do a whole ton of it, it will ooze out like kind of like kindergarten art projects, and you just don't want that. Okay, so I just have adhesive around my edges. And then I'm going to just start taking these pieces here and laying them down. Start at the top, and I'm going to lay that down here. I'll grab a different one, and you want to have them right up against each other. And if you want, once in a while, so that you're not, you know, maybe you want to check your color scheme. Some of these have sparkle on them and some don't, so maybe you don't want like 5 in a row of the strips that are sparkle and then only one that doesn't, and you can decide. So you can kind of flip this over and kind of see what you're getting. And I did 2 that are kind of the similar. I have the vanilla and vanilla, and so I want to add some color into that one. So let's add this one. Okay, don't worry about, you can see right now how it's going over the edge and it kind of just looks like a giant mess. Don't worry about that at the moment. Not really a problem. So I'm just laying all these strips down. I keep just kind of looking back to see what you think you need next. Maybe we'll do this one here. And lay that down. Let's see what else we have. We can put this one down. We're just going to keep going until that whole opening is covered up. Okay, we're almost there. Let's see, maybe we'll put this here. Okay, so that whole opening is covered, not looking so pretty. We're going to flip this over, and this is what you have. You see how it's all coming off the edges? No big deal. We're going to grab our scissors and just trim off this excess all the way around. Okay, I got a little extra like there, a little extra here. Okay, we're going to swish that out of the way. And then this is your card at the moment, like this. I'm going to flip this over and grab my forever favorite dimensionals. Love these. You need to have these on hand all the time, so if you're getting low on any of these dimensionals, you want to add that to your next order. We're going to take those and put these here. I love having something on my card that pops. Okay, so I'm going to take those and let's pull these backings off. Hope everybody's doing well today. Oops, got them all done. Sometimes you think you got them all and you didn't, so just lightly just kind of tap to make sure you got stickiness and you didn't miss any. I got a little extra glue on the edge where maybe I don't want it. Just rub that gently. And then I'm going to take this and center that on my card. I find it easier to do if I stand up and look down. And press that down. Okay, and that's what we have. Look at that. That was simple and easy, right? Okay, but I want to add ribbon around it just to add a little extra. So I cut a piece of ribbon. This is just a piece of gray ribbon. I cut enough to wrap all the way around the front of the card, and it's going through the inside there. So I'm going to bring this around, and what I'm going to do is take some glue dots. The glue dots you buy in the catalog will come on a roll. If you do any of the kits will come with glue dots on these little plastic sheets like this. So it just depends if you have some from a kit or if you bought them as a roll of how they come, but they're good. So I'm going to take off these backings, and there's little glue dots on there. And let's wrap this around. I'm going to take this up here, and I want to put my seam up toward the top because I'm going to make like a faux bow, and I don't want to be able to see where my seam is. So I want my seam to be up here. And I'm going to stick that down. Okay, so I just wrapped that right around the card on the back. Wrap that around. And then I'm taking a little bit shorter of the gray ribbon. I'm going to slide that underneath. And I'm tying a knot, just loop it around. And I think sometimes, if you can see this, I'm going to try real hard to show this to you. If you loop that around and just pull, it kind of comes out funny. So what I do is it's in here, and then I take this one, my left hand, and roll it and flip it over. And I think it comes out with a little bit nicer finish to it. Okay, we're going to pull that tight right there. And then I'm just going to take the scissors and snip and snip. And there you go. And look at that card. And there's your card for today. Get this out of here. And that's your Lunchtime with Liz. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, post something below, comment below, let me know. If there's any questions you have, shoot those there too in the comments. And that's it for today. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.